you go ahead with the introduction, if you're ready.
I am.
Okay. All right.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Exploring Emerging Technologies for Lifelong Learning and Success. Oh, sorry, that's.
All right.
I want to introduce our speakers today. Robin Sullivan is a teaching and learning strategist with education services with the University Libraries at the University of Buffalo. She holds an MAH, interdisciplinary degree in education and communication design, and an MLS in information science from the University of Buffalo. She conducts research regarding innovative digital pedagogy and assists students, faculty, and other stakeholders to explore and implement established and emerging technologies to support teaching and learning. Robin leads the State University of New York Exploring Emerging Technologies for Lifelong Learning and Success, EmTechMOOC, a global learning opportunity to create 21st century citizens equipped for today's technology-driven society. Robin has been recognized through the SUNY Chancellor's Award for Excellence in Professional Service, a SUNY Faculty Advisory Council on Teaching and Technology Excellence in Instructional Support Award, and 3 Open SUNY Effective Practice Awards. Cherie Putten is an instructional designer for the Center for Learning and Teaching at Binghamton University. She facilitates workshops for faculty and serves as a resource for faculty who want to pursue online and hybrid courses. Cherie holds a master's degree in adult education from Penn State University. Her areas of interest include faculty development, creating learning communities, non-traditional learners, and distance education delivery. Cherie has served as co-PI on both the Tools of Engagement Project, On-Demand Discovery Learning Professional Development, and EmTechMOOC. Cherie is the recipient of 2 SUNY Faculty Advisory Council on Teaching and Technology Excellence in Instructional Support Awards, and 2 Open SUNY Effective Practice Awards. And with that, I'll turn it over to our presenters.
Thank you, John, very much. Okay. All right, good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to our session today for National Distance Learning Week. And today, myself and my colleague Cherie will talk about the SUNY Exploring Emerging Technologies for Lifelong Learning and Success initiative. The URL for the project is on the screen, and it is suny.edu/EmTech. And Cherie will also post into the chat a link for the slides for this session, and we will make sure that they get posted along with the recording of today's event. And there's a number of links to some of the resources and technology tools that we'll be talking about that are a part of the EmTechMOOC project. We also want to let you know that one of the tools or one of the concepts that we share and teach through EmTechMOOC is making content accessible to all learners. And so if you do need captioning, you can go to the URL that's on the screen for webcaptioner.com, and no account is needed. You can get live captioning with our session. So I am going to turn it over to Cherie, who's going to give us a little introduction to what we're going to talk about today.
Okay, so basically, as you can see on this slide here, there's a lot of tools out there. And we have faculty coming to us all the time. Sometimes they have heard of a tool and they want to use it in their class. And maybe we have other suggestions we would like to make based on what it is they want to do. And this is just a great way for them to start learning about tools and they can also use it for the students in their classes. But the reason we need things like this is you get really comfortable using a free tool, and then all of a sudden there's a freemium. It's no longer free, it's now a freemium, or it now has a more of a cost to it. But or it just goes away completely, and then you're stuck without the tool you've been using for like several years or a few years. And it's hard for people who are non-tech people or who haven't started to explore on their own to learn how to do that initial exploring. So that's why we created EmTechMOOC. It's just to move everybody's digital literacy up a notch. So basically, the MOOC helps them learn how to choose the right tool for the job. They learn about how to protect their digital identity, which we feel is a very important thing for people to learn about before they start using tools, and especially tools that require them to put in personal information. And we want them to develop a lifelong learning toolkit that focuses on how do they explore these tools and how do they find the next tool that's going to be good for them. Because there's a lot of stuff out there, and you know, I can tell when I speak with older professors, I shouldn't call them older professors, legacy professors is what we sometimes refer to them as, and they might not be as comfortable like using a new tool, but this helps them sort of see that there's a process involved when you go and pick a tool. You know, you have to know how to properly vet what you're using. And it's targeted to all learners. Like, yes, I am saying professor and students, but really anyone with an interest in staying current is welcome to join the MOOC. The difference is if they come in with their SUNY ID, they do get the certificate for free. So I'm going to turn over to Robin, and she can go over more of the MTech MOOC now.
Okay, thank you, Cherie. So the MTech MOOC project has two very critical components. The first piece that I'll talk about is a Coursera-based MOOC. And through the MOOC, there is a very supportive online learning community. And if you see the picture on the screen there, it's an online course. So you would be able to enroll in the MOOC, and it's very much like a learning management system, like many of you might be familiar with, like Blackboard or Moodle or Desire to Learn. And the course is set up into different modules, and there are a number of videos. This project would not be possible without help from many people throughout the SUNY system. And we have SUNY faculty, staff, and students who are highlighted in the different sections. On the screen, you see a video from Chris Price from the Center for Professional Development, and he actually introduces the discussion about lifelong learning. There are also a number of students and faculty that talk about different areas throughout the MOOC. And there's video content, reading, and quizzes, some interactive exercises using a number of the tools that we highlight as examples. You can also participate. The MOOC is separated into 5 different modules, and you can actually complete each module within about an hour's time slot. They are separated into the categories that you see on the screen. Lifelong learning is the first module, and that pretty much underlies the entire concept of the MOOC. How can you be a lifelong learner? Because technology changes from day to day. You need to be able to adapt and learn along with it. So that's a really important concept. And also in lifelong learning, we talk about having a growth mindset, what is Creative Commons. We talk about information and digital literacy. Open educational resources is very important part of the first learning module. Then the next modules focus on the 4 C's of 21st century skills. Those are communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. And then there's also a final module that is meant to kind of summarize and synthesize the learning throughout the entire MOOC. So the rewards for going through this learning process, this is one of the things that is changing in the next little while. The personal portfolio is something that is developed throughout the different modules. This is changing to be an optional activity. Learners can choose from developing a personal portfolio or through a private learning journal, if that's how they so choose. But everybody is encouraged to create digital artifacts by going into the discovery exercises and choosing something to do a hands-on exercise so that they can really get to know what the tools that they choose, what they can do for them. In addition to the having a personal portfolio, if that's what you choose going through this course, learners will earn digital badges and a Coursera certificate of completion. So as Cherie mentioned, if you are with the SUNY system affiliated in any way, whether you are a student, a faculty, a staff, an alumni, a member of one of the SUNY affiliated partners like the COIL system, you can earn a free digital badge and a free Coursera certificate of completion. Just recently, the SUNY Coursera for Campus initiative was announced, and that actually allows anyone to take advantage of a large collection of Coursera-based MOOCs at no cost and able to receive the completion certificates through Coursera. The biggest benefit that we really hope that learners gain through going through EmTechMOOC is the intrinsic rewards of being a lifelong learner. So the second component that is part of this project is MTech Wiki. And this is as equally important and sometimes even more important than the MOOC itself. The Wiki is a socially curated set of freely available technology tools and resources. We are close to getting 500 records in the Wiki. We started out with about 150. And those resources are added by the community. And I will talk about how you search through the Wiki in a second. But these tools are used to complete the discovery exercises. The Wiki is also available as a standalone resource. We collect data and analytics on both the MOOC and the Wiki, and there are a ton of people that visit the Wiki to find a tool or resource that will help them meet their individual needs. The statistics that we pull from our learners in the MOOC say that a vast majority do plan to visit the Wiki after they complete the MOOC. So this screen is a blow up of the Wiki search interface. And when you come to this Wiki from the MOOC, you are automatically steered towards one of the module topics, and you'll see that blue stripe across the middle of the screen. Those are the 4 content modules in the MOOC. And so if you come to the Wiki from the communication and collaboration section, you are then limited. So instead of those 500 resources, it will kind of narrow down your selection to just the tools and resources that relate to communication and collaboration. You can then filter those resources further to find something that is really meant to address your particular needs. So one of the filters on the left that you can siphon through is a filter for objectives. So inside of communication and collaboration, there are a small selection of objectives that will help you figure out, what are the tools that help me communicate? What are the tools that help me collaborate? If I want to share information, what are the tools or resources that will help me do that? You can also filter together with the categories menu. Those categories, you can see a number of them listed on the screen that can be selected. For example, if you want to make your content accessible, you can select from the accessibility area. There's also technology categories such as audio, blogs, wikis, open educational resources, photos, images, simulations, video, and that's just a few of them. So you can, if you know you want to create a video, you can go right to that section. If you know you want to caption that video, you can select accessibility and video, and it will help you narrow down on what you're looking for. In addition, you can sort by the highest rated and by popularity. You can see that there is an option for each record to say this is a good tool. And you can select the, right now they're up and down arrows. And in addition, there is just a plain search box. So if you know you're looking for you know, something relating to captioning, you can put caption in that search bar and it will find it for you. So MTech Wiki is a wiki, and what that means is that the general public is able to contribute. And so if you go to the page, you can go to the contribute menu, you can log into the wiki. It's a separate login from the MOOC, and it will allow you to rate a tool. Actually, you don't even need to be logged in to rate a tool. As soon as you see a tool on the screen, you can hit that up arrow if you feel it's a really good resource. It will allow you to add a tool and also modify a tool. So if you know that there is a resource available, a tutorial for something you're looking at, you can immediately add that to the resource for someone else to take advantage of. And so we have a few examples we wanted to share that kind of maybe highlight what you'll learn in the different modules. So within lifelong learning, one of the objectives is create a professional identity. One of the things that we stress throughout the entire project is to use your campus supported tools if you have them available. So some campuses do have an e-portfolio platform. UB uses the Blackboard e-portfolio now. And so you can go in there and you can find information about using the Blackboard portfolio tool. And also, if your campus does not have a portfolio platform, there's about 40 other tools that you can use to create an e-portfolio or to create a website to serve as your e-portfolio. In addition, digital and media literacy is another objective in lifelong learning that's really critical. We try to stress how to have a safe and professional identity, and also how to find information that is truthful, accurate, and verifiable. So one of the resources that we wanted to point out is the free ebook for the web literacy for student fact checkers. It's a great resource, even if you just take that and share that with your learners. It's one of the many great resources you can find in the wiki. Not going to go through all of the links in these pages. We only have a short while. So I'm going to skip over a few, but Cherie did share the link to our slides. You can go in there and just click through some of these that we're highlighting. I did mention about accessibility. There is information about using alt tags, captioning, and many other tutorials. In addition, search skills. So being able to just search is something that we talk about. If you have an issue with something, how do you search the web effectively to find out what is the error that you're getting confronted with, and how do you solve that? You're trying to find something to meet a research need. So there's a number of search tutorials relating to using Google Scholar, using some of the databases that are online. Open educational resources is a big category within the MOOC. We highlight all of the SUNY OER catalogs, and you can learn how to create OER through some of the resources that you find. In addition, the module on communication and collaboration, that has the objectives of, how can you enhance collaboration? So collaborative document editing is featured. And if you click on these links, I'm just going to click on one of these to bring you into the wiki. So it shows you that, there's links to learn about Google Drive, Google Docs. There's a number of different tutorials. Hypothesis and perusal are some of the collaborative editing tools that you can get exposed to. These tools let you annotate web pages or PDFs, and they're collaborative editing so that you can have your students or learners or yourself, you can highlight for your future reference. You can go to a web page and highlight something, add an annotation, and then you can do close reading using these tools, and a few others. Excuse me. We are currently communicating using web conferencing, and so that is a big topic in the wiki. All of the different web conferencing tools are available, the ones that are supported through your campuses. UB uses Zoom and WebEx. In addition, there are tools such as Google Meet, GoToMeeting, and so I'm certain that you'll find a tool. If your campus has one that's supported, you should be able to find it on the wiki. If your campus does not have a supported tool, or if your campus supported tool happens to not be available to you, there are other options that are available. We talk about video streaming and how do you upload to YouTube or Vimeo. Concept maps and timelines is another type of tool that you can find to create just interactive activities for connecting information. Another category, another module that is in the wiki and in the MOOC is creativity. Presentation tools abound. So we have PowerPoint that we added for the, when COVID first came around. The suggestion that we provide when you first enter the wiki is not to experiment with every single tool that's out there. It's just find the tools that will help you meet your particular needs. And there's a core set of essential tools. So there is in the wiki a category of essential tools, and PowerPoint is one of those that's on there. And there are a number of tutorials, how to create a good presentation. What is the design philosophy of using white space in a presentation. Number of tutorials on both Adobe and Microsoft. Graphic editing tools and collections of photos and images are available. There's, I think, some interesting photo collections. Is one for finding medical images that are freely able to be used, medical and health related images. Another one that was recently added was a collection that just helps you find images that are diverse and show people from many different backgrounds so that you can make sure that whatever you're creating is representative of everyone and everyone that views your information. There's animation tools, and also gamification is a popular category. A lot of people will kind of use games to increase the engagement in their online courses. And in addition, we want to talk about critical thinking. That is one of the very important sections in the MOOC. Being able to analyze data and information using infographics is an area that if you create an infographic as one of the artifacts for your portfolio, there are a bunch of different tools that can be used. Canva is one of them. There is an infographic about just digital literacy activities. And PictoChart is probably my favorite infographic tool. In addition, there is the ability to do polling and surveys, polling through Zoom, Top Hat, Turning Technologies. And I think, those pages are just a small selection of the 500 different types of tools and resources that you can find through MTech Wiki. We do want to ask you all to share information with the colleagues in your network, whether they are fellow faculty, students at your campus, family members who are trying to understand these new technologies to be able to communicate at a distance like we're doing right now. So this slide will bring you to a number of announcements that are part of the part of the MTech Wiki website. So if you come to this page, you can share an announcement through social media. So you can come here, copy, paste, just grab the URL and share that. There are posters. If we ever get together in person, you can put them around your campus. And in addition, there are texts that you can just copy and paste and share out, modify this to meet your needs, and share that with anyone who is interested. There's also a 1-minute video. So if somebody is not interested to sit through this whole half-hour presentation, you can just share this short 1-minute video that gives a good overview about the project. And I believe that we are close to our half-hour point. And so I'm going to let John or Aaron kind of wrap us up, and we are definitely available to answer any and all questions. So I will let Aaron take over.
I just will say, Robin, that I love this repository of promotional materials. I think it's fantastic. And so not just to promote MTech, but it's an idea for folks who have something that they want to promote too, right? So it's a great kind of a template for what people can use to put it together. So I like that a lot. I just had a question that, because I've heard some of these questions before and wanted to get them captured, but how do you keep up with the ever-changing technology, right? There's always something new out there, and so how do you keep your wiki up to date? Is it just relying on the crowdsourcing and that sort of thing?
How do I personally keep up to date, or how does the project keep up
sure.
to date?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think the project tries to keep up with you know, the different technology tools because it is crowdsourced.
Mm-hmm.
So the participants in the MOOC are encouraged to add to the wiki, and by adding to the wiki, they're also able to earn another digital badge. So that's just one way. And I think we've also done some research that we have collected responses from everybody who has participated in the MOOC, and it's overwhelmingly evident that the best learning occurs when people learn from what other people are learning. So by just looking at the portfolio artifacts and reflections that other participants are sharing, you automatically learn, oh, they learned about this infographic tool and they used it for this purpose. And they thought that it was beneficial for this reason and it was challenging for that reason. So I think that is the best way to learn and how to keep up with technology tools. I learn also just by, you know, reading and listening to the participants.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that crowdsourcing is a great model for that. I know in the past you've shared your participants, and I know they're all over the globe, which is always exciting to see. And since it is crowdsourced, about how many participants have you had since its inception?
So we do have on the wiki an impact page, and that provides a lot of our statistics. And so far, let's see, we just updated this a couple weeks ago. So we have issued 2,500 badges. And in those badges, they were, you know, the number of people that have enrolled in MTech is, you know, getting close to 2,500. Actually, I looked at it this morning, getting pretty close to that mark, 25,000, I'm sorry. And they are from 150 countries from around the world. You can see the circle size represents the size of the number of people that are enrolled. And so since this project was developed for SUNY and we promote it most heavily to the SUNY community, that circle is the biggest. But there are also big communities in India, in Mexico. Singapore has, I'm not sure how the word has gotten around that very tiny country, but we had maybe close to 100 of their firefighters and police and civil service who have been participating and completing the portfolios. And so it's really interesting to see a portfolio that's created by a firefighter.
Yeah.
Or, you know, so it's definitely a global resource that, you know, we'd love to see, you know, and that's, I think, a big learning opportunity also, just learning from people from all over the world, and we have similarities and we have differences.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you get some really interesting perspectives that way. It's neat to see how it's being used, for professional development for those different populations of people.
Yeah. What's really great too is the breakdown of whether someone is a student or an instructor or a staff member in academia, outside of academia, or just unemployed. That's changed back and forth in the different evolution of this project. When we first started, we mainly, targeted to faculty. And then we started, reaching further. We kind of wanted the faculty to be our beta testers. And then, we reached out further to students. And now the project is used pretty equally by a variety of people from, unemployed and those who have a doctorate to those who are just, out of high school. And it's nice to see everybody communicating together. And when you look at the portfolios, it's not always evident. This person is a doctor from, Harvard, or I don't know if we've had any doctor from Harvard. We have people from Harvard, but it's interesting to see them communicating across the different demographics. So.
Yeah, that's great.
And also on this impact page are some great statistics. So we had 75% who said that they enhanced their lifelong learning habits by going through this project, either quite a bit or very much. And also comfort level. That is something that we try to strive for. How can we increase the comfort level of the individuals that are going through this project? And 75% have responded positively. Also 71% have positively responded to the ability for them to enhance just their use of emerging technologies. And I think the last one that I'll share with you here is 88% said that they would recommend this project to a friend or a colleague.
Great. And folks can not go through the entire course also, right? I mean, they can just use the wiki and go there for
definitely
information. So there's, like you said, those two parts to really MTech. And I know I started the course myself and didn't have time to finish it, and still use the wiki as a resource when I'm looking for tools to do certain things because of how it filters. It's really helpful.
Yeah, a lot of people do say that they continue to use the wiki long after the course is done. We encourage those who complete the MOOC to stay on and serve as mentors and fellows. So even I see many people who've started the MOOC, dropped it for a couple weeks or a couple months, and come back and pick up right where they left off. That's one of the great things about Coursera. You don't have to finish it. The Coursera modules say week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, but that's kind of misleading. I wish I had the ability to rename those. You can start, do a little bit, drop it and come back, do a little bit more, drop it and come back and do a little bit more. And many people just participate in what the sections that they're interested in. We've had faculty who have adopted just a single module and given that as a course assignment for their students. And then some of those students do come back and finish the entire MOOC on their own. So that's really good to see also.
That's a good point too, that there are pieces here within the modules that might be useful in certain courses to help students find, the tools to either demonstrate their learning, or if it is sort of a technology course, right, that they can use those. Even I would think communications classes, lots of things like that.
Yeah, and even just presentations. So presentations are done in a majority of different courses. So you can have students go through, and there are 70 different resources that just talk about what can you do to present information. So there's elements of design. There are concept mapping tools. So if you need your students to just show connections between the different topics that they're learning in a class. You can send them here and say, okay, create a concept map, or create a flow chart, or an infographic. And so there's, many different ways that a student can come and just take advantage of the resources within the wiki.
Yeah. Great.
Um,
All right. I'm looking in the chat and I'm not seeing any other questions, but if Gabriel or Linda have anything, you're welcome to use your mic while we're wrapping this up. And I know Robin and Cherie are always available and more than willing to talk.
Yes, always willing to talk. We are continually looking for new partners and collaborators. And the email for the generic contact for Cherie and myself is emtechmooc@gmail.com, but our contact information is also on the first slide. Feel free to reach out to us directly, and we'd be happy to answer any questions you may have. Just, one thing I think I maybe failed to mention in this presentation, the MOOC will be undergoing some changes in the very near future. And in addition to making the portfolio optional, the quiz functionality is being enhanced. So by going through the different modules, you will be asked to, you'll be given a scenario, and you'll be asked to determine which of the different tools will help you meet that need in that scenario. And that just kind of forces you to go into the wiki and search around and say, okay, so there's 3 options here. Which one of these tools do for me? So you then go back into the wiki, find what those tools do, come back and answer the quizzes.
Yeah, oh, I like that application of the tool. Absolutely. That's a great way to do it through those scenario-based learning.
Yes.
All right.
So thank you everyone for your attention and time, and thank you for all who
Thanks,
might
everybody.
hopefully listen to this at a later point.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us and sharing. I'll let John close us out.
I just wanted everyone to know, and I want to thank everyone for their participation and our speakers, Robin and Cherie. And I wanted to let folks know the session will be recorded and slides will be uploaded to the link, hopefully showing on your screen. Let me just double check that.
Yep.
Yep, there it is. And there's a survey to take. You can click that link in this and take the survey and let us know how the session was for you, and hopefully other information about the session that you want to provide. And additional sessions are happening throughout this week. We hope that you'll take advantage of those, and we'll see you in some of those sessions. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Great. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.